Sinovision is a U.S.-based Chinese-language television network headquartered in New York City. It has bureaus throughout the country, including Boston. That's where Joe Lee is based, covering issues most important to the Chinese-American community. Lee, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start by having you tell us about yourself, where you grew up, and how you got into journalism.
Well, I was born and raised in China, and I came here for my master's degree in Suffolk University in 2012. And after I graduated, I was looking for a job which is related to my major, which is journalism. And I saw Sinovision was hiring reporters, so I just decided to go for it.
Now, you're what we call an MMJ, a multimedia journalist, which means you shoot, you edit, you do all your own stories from start to finish. That's certainly a lot of work, but it also gives you, creative control over all of your stories. What is that like on a daily basis, doing the whole thing from start to finish?
Yeah, in the morning, I usually gather informations from website, social media, and the news tips and press releases, and then I decide what is the priority for me to cover for the day, and then I just go to the field, conduct interviews, report, shoot, and after all the stuff, I just go back home to edit the video, write script, and do voiceover. This is a one-man band for me to finish.
One-man band.
Yes.
It's a lot going on. Yeah. So Sinovision first launched 30 years ago, and it's broadcast exclusively in Mandarin.
Yes.
The nightly newscast has about 1 million national viewers a day. Why is broadcasting in a native language so important to the Chinese American community?
Yes, a lot of Chinese immigrants, they don't speak English. So I think at most of the time, we are the only source for them to gather information. So for example, due to the pandemic, a lot of people, they lose jobs. So I usually go to cover the public policies, such as the city is trying to help the unemployed with relief fund. So I was trying to tell people that the city is helping them, and they could know that this is the information and how they can apply for these funds. So this is the way I want to try to help the community as soon as possible.
Yeah, and as you said, you mentioned the pandemic. There's certainly no shortage of news recently. Unfortunately, a lot of stories and rallies I'm sure you've covered about the Stop Asian Hate, the immigration stories about dreamers, profiling business owners who have been struggling to stay afloat during the pandemic. What's one story that has really stood out for you?
Yeah, so I think maybe I would say anti-Asian violence. So anti-Asian violence is surging since the pandemic. So I was the one who go to the field to know people's stories, what they have suffering, and what they are experiencing, the racism since the pandemic. So they told me that some people just speed on them, and people tearing off their masks and even using verbal abuse. So I felt bad about them. I felt bad that the community was living in fear. But luckily, I saw people are changing. The whole community would love to speak up. They hosted a lot of rallies to protest. They wanted to speak up, to talk about their experiences. They try to solve the problems. So yes, I feel the community is changing. It's not stereotyped as the quiet minority, quiet community anymore.
And that's very important because mainstream media may not offer the same perspectives or give voice to the same attitudes or feelings that you are covering.
Yeah, right. So I'm as the Asian American who is the one also suffered the same kind of the issue. For example, so when I went to a supermarket in Medford, one day, and I was standing in line, and a man who was also standing behind me, and he thought I kind of touched him a little bit, but actually I didn't, because he was standing closer to me. So he said, I'm a kind of China virus, and he said, you touched me. And I didn't know that means he was trying to say China virus. He was just, you touched me, and then he said China virus with a lower voice. But I didn't have immediate reaction to them, so because I never experienced that things. I've living in America for 9 years, and
it's never happened to you before.
It's never happened before, and yes, so I was shocked, but I didn't know how to respond to that. So I was speechless, and then he just leave. He just left, and so that's the experience I saw. That is really happening here.
Yeah. And you've seen it firsthand.
Yes.
Another story that's very important to the Asian American community right now is Michelle Wu running for Boston mayor. What has covering that been like for you?
Well, I think she's amazing. She's a woman, a mother. She was born from an immigrant family, and she is bold to stand out, to be someone who wants to help the community as a whole. She wants to help the vulnerable. She wants to help people who are suffering, maybe. Now, we know you're not endorsing her,
but in terms of the coverage and the response from your audience, it must be an important story.
Yes, she's a role model for the whole community. Because the community seldom to see a figure who, with an Asian face and trying to be the one help the whole community, and trying to.
She's breaking the mold, being the first.
Breaking the history.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. Lee, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And for all the work that you're doing for Sinovision.
Thank you.
The Boston Asian American Film Festival starts this week. Next, we'll have a preview of the opening night film and chat with the event's founding director.
Thank you.
Thank you.